So, I have been trying to make some videos to post in YouTube. Well, why is that? I don't know. But I see so many people get a lot of viewings and post the things that's even, on my perspective, it's even not funny or it's not educative. So I decided to start uh, record my everyday life. But I want to tell you a history, and that's my life history. What's happened from the day I born to today that I live in Scotland. Okay, so let's go there. Chapter 1. When I was a little girl, I don't remember a lot, but anyway, I remember uh, me and my family, we travel quite a lot. I remember my father was a very strange man. He's live of gambling. He's a pool player and a poker player. And I remember that I was very little and we live in a very big house. I believe we was quite rich back those days because nobody had TV, but we did. And we live in a two-story house that I remember was green, pinkish, blue, three colors, wonderful. Very old-fashioned house. And while life was going on, I was going to school. But anyway, when I was about 7 years old, I fell in love for the first time. There was a boy that lived nearby. He's probably was something like 14. So you guess I was a badass at the age of 7 already falling in love. Well, anyway, I remember I did suck it também for as long I could. And I walk by the train line in little brief with no top on. Of course, I had flat chest anyway, for God's sake, I was a kid. But anyway, and life was, I don't know if I could say interesting, but anyway, my father, his left my mom, his disappear. That was not the first time, but to me tell you all about so many times my father left my mom or disappear. I need to go back years that I was very little. I even cannot recall. I just know why here. So I'm not going there. It's not much point. But anyway, my father left my mom. I was about 7 years old, and he's vanished. I don't know why he's left mom, but I know he's had an affair with some woman, and men get crazy when they have affairs, and somehow my father vanished. We stay in this town that was south southeast of Brazil, in a big city called Cachoeiro of Itapemirim. It's not translated for that name anyway. And we stayed there for, well, for a little while to my father make a contact with my mom again because that's what he was doing. He's got that affair, go away. And one day he's coming back somehow. He's coming back from the death, believe it or not. That's what I know. And well, when my father actually got in contact with my mom, his was in Brasilia, the capital of the country. And of course, my mom was in love with him, so we moved. all way by bus. Me, my youngest sister, and my brother, and my old sister, and my old brother, all on the bus with one ticket. That was my mom ticket, and all the kids just to stay on the floor and sit on the corridor to get to Brasilia. That was a quite well travel. I think something like 18 to 20 hours. So when we get to Brasilia, of course, my father was nice. Everything was fine. Brasilia was a beautiful new capital. So everybody has the belief that would be a brand new life. So anyway, we had a little house and my father carried on doing whatever he's doing. I went to school and I met some kids that was bad influence. Can you believe I was about 9 to 10 and I was stealing yogurt on the local supermarket, but because my friends wanted something to eat on the lunch break of school and we was poor, we had no money back those days. Parents don't give his children any money. And they said to me, so easy, go there, grab the yogurt, put it under your top, your coat, and walk out. And stupid me. I tried, but I got caught. So that was a terrible experience, and I never again tried to do anything that people think is a clever thing to do. That's awful thing to do. But anyway, I learned my lesson back then. But anyway, grown up in Taguatinga, that's a satellite city on the entorn of Brasilia. And life was not very exciting, but was pretty good. Till one day my father decided to move away from Brazilian. So here we go again, all the kids on the bus, and we end up go to the north east in Brazil, and they stayed there actually. We born there, but we never remember to leave there till I was about 12 years old. We went to a city called Vitória da Conquista. That's, if I translate, is the Conquer Victoria, but it's not translation for that city anyway. So, yeah, back those days I was about 12, and then I fell in love again. This time I fall in love with my PE teacher, Victoria. He was gorgeous. And I was happy. Wow, I even don't know why I fell in love with that guy because his was far too old for me. Actually, his was dating one of my sister's friend that was already 18, 19, and I was 12. So that's not going to work, right? Yeah, but I fell in love with that guy. And back those days, I was going to school, of course, and I was part of the Catholic Church with the youngest group. So we attend all Sundays and doing whatever we doing there. That I can't remember exactly what we was doing. But anyway, uh, Victoria did not last long. Probably because the age difference, of course, that would never be able to work out something like that. But anyway, um, after living there for about 9 months, my father decided going back to the capital for whatever reason was. I never recall much. When you were a kid, you don't pay attention to things like that. You just do what you be told to do and get on in life. So by the age 13, I was back in the capital with my mom again, my dad, my sister, brothers, and we end up to living in a place that's about 70 kilometers from Brasilia. Is a town city. No, sorry, it's not town city. It's a town, quite large town, near to the city. And we lived there, and I fell in love again. Oh my goodness. So I fell in love at the age of 6, 12, and then now 13, I'm falling in love again. This time with a gorgeous India look like a guy. He's not Indian, not the India from Indian. It's India from the Amazon. He's had very beautiful dark skin, but with a very straight hair, big black eyes. Well, nobody have black eyes, but look like black. And I was in love with that guy. He's hiding a motorbike, and his was working a local pharmacist. Again, older than me, a lot older. But we never had anything. One, he's not my parents, and he's not, that would not be a clever thing to do because the age is different. So I was in love with that guy for years, years, years. Fair enough. When I was turning 16, 17, I actually met his cousin that I ended up married to him at the age of 18. Clever thing to do it. Not great. But anyway, I married his cousin, and I was with his cousin literally for 7 months. But I was not in love with him. Those days, I just want to leave it home. 18 years old, mom and dad already was divorced, and I want to become an adult, doing my own shit and doing my own things. So I married a guy the last 7 months and I divorced him 7 months later. I separated actually. I did not divorce him till 2 years later anyway. So when I was married to this guy, I ended up find a job. So I work in a hospital. I started working in the travel industry that I did for many, many years back in Brazil. And by then I was already on my 20s. And certainly, funny enough, I ended up pregnant of my supposed to be ex-husband because I had sex with him one day. We was travel and my friends know him and he was there. And when you're young, you're a little naive. And somehow I ended up having sex with him and I had been pregnant of my first daughter that I will tell you all about in the next video, or that video will be too long, but we'll tell you all that happened and how I end up in Scotland. So keep an eye on my videos. I will start to tell you all about because I'm bored. You know, the coronavirus is not great. I'm inside. I'm not doing much. So I must share a little of my life from the time I born to growing up, move around in Brazil and end up in Europe. So talk to you soon. I hope you enjoy. Bye. Bye bye.